for me, NFC North, I got the Bears finishing fourth. They signed Andrew Billings. They got Tremaine Edmonds on the squad. DJ Moore, still some question marks with Justin Fields passing. Obviously, showed great flashes last season. Protection's been a huge issue over there in Chicago. So it's definitely a question mark there. They got Devontae Foreman as well. I just don't think, they're quite ready compared to these other teams that have showed, their true colors. I think the Bears won 2 games in the first couple of weeks of the regular season, and they finished 1-14 to finish off the year. So, got a lot to show. Justin Fields showed some promise. Excited to see him another year under his belt, see what he can do. But as far as, the Bears, I got them finishing 4th in the division.
Mm-hmm. So I have the Bears coming in 4th place as well, and I think it just really all comes down to Justin Fields. I mean, he's going to be an elite rusher, arguably the best running quarterback in the league. So it just all comes down to if he can take that leap as a passer. And like you touched on, those improved weapons should help. You got DJ Moore coming over in that trade. And then they still got Claypool, Mooney. They got some solid weapons there. Improved run game like you touched on, brought over Foreman. So it'll be interesting. But like you said, that protection, Justin Fields was running for his life last year. They addressed it, 1st-round pick this year, got a tackle. So, hopefully that O-line can come along a little bit. And their defense still is just a big question mark to me as well. No real true pass rush. Their secondary is decent. They got Brisker back there. He's solid. Jalen Johnson's a nice, outside option at corner. But they're just a young team. Still a lot of room for improvement. And I also have them coming in 4th. Did you do the record?
No, I didn't. But
I had them at eight wins around 8 there wins? Somewhere. Yeah,
I'm shooting for more like 6.
6
and 11.
I'll look through the schedule. I think they'll be competitive. I do think Fields will take a leap as a passer, but I don't think they'll do anything crazy, and I don't think they'll make the playoffs.
If you got them finishing 4th, man, I want to see some of these other records you got in the North, man. Because who's losing at that point, bro? Every team gonna be 500. The Bears coming in with 8.
Well, 8 wins it's a little on the higher side, but
yeah. I
6
know you're a
wins,
Justin Fields
wins.
believer.
Bro, I don't know where you get this notion.
Are you not a Justin Fields believer? I didn't say biggest fan. Are you
bro? I think he'll improve from what he did last year, but I don't think he'll be like a top 10 or 15 quarterback.
Okay.
But I definitely think he'll take a leap and be a better passer just because they brought over weapons and another year in the offense.
All right.
If the Bears win 8 games, that's a successful season.
If the Bears win 8 games, I think that's low-key shocking in my opinion. So, what they win last year? 3? Yeah, 3. So,
they only won 3 games last year?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was just 3. I should have pulled up previous year record. As far as, the next team up, we touched on them in the preview. Packers, man, I got them finishing 3rd. Departure of Aaron Rodgers, longtime franchise QB, fell just short of the playoffs last year. 3 wins for the Bears. Fell short of the playoffs last year with Aaron Rodgers. They had a chance to clinch it last week. They couldn't do so, man. Jordan Love now steps in that QB1 spot. A lot of question marks surrounding him. Didn't get a lot of playing time and never really got to see J Love in work. But the Packers, they went out this year, drafted Lucas Van Ness, edge rusher. Should be interesting to see what he does. Quay Walker, who had a decent, rookie year, he comes back, 2nd year on that defensive side of the ball. And then you still got the 2 running backs. Aaron Jones, one of the best receiving dual threat kind of backs in the league. He does it all. And A.J. Dillon, that more type workhorse power back. You still got that 1-2 punch. Should help take pressure off Jordan Love as far as throwing. But, weapons on the outside, really question marks for Rodgers last year. Probably going to continue to do so with Love. Still have young Christian Watson. He'll probably, make some plays. He's a deep threat. Jordan Love and him find that connection. They could kind of find a groove, win a few games, let the running game like I said, take that pressure off. I got them sitting at third. I'm going to say, oh, and shout out Big Max. He said Luke Musgrove, someone to watch out for on the pack.
A rookie tight end.
Rookie, yep. Big breakout rookie year, according to him. But I got them at 8 wins. I got the pack at 8-11, maybe 9-10, or wait, 8-11, 8-9, or 9-8.
Yeah, all right. So I'm just gonna give both of mine right now. I have the Vikings and Packers both at 9-8. So I had them at 9 wins as well. I think both of these teams they're not similar in the way they're built or constructed, but I think they're kind of in the same realm, like talent and win wise. So, I mean, I'm just higher on the Packers. I like their weapons and stuff. So in third place, I had the Vikings. Justin Jefferson, you know what he's gonna bring. He's offensive player of the year candidate every single year. He's amazing, but I think it's a reason Jay Judge said Kirk Cousins wasn't top 5. You know what Kirk is at this point. He'll be a safe, solid bet. Not going to be too high, not going to be too low. The defense is kind of where I got the concerns. I mean, they won every single one-score game last year. That's not sustainable. That's not going to happen again this year. So every game they win, I think, is just going to be because of their offense putting up those points. Dalvin Cook is gone, but you got Alexander Madison there. He's going to be a solid weapon in the backfield. Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the league at worst, number 3, but probably the best receiver at this point, or second best. So it doesn't really matter. I think that offense is going to be explosive, but I just really don't know what they have on the defensive side of the ball. They lost Zadarius Smith to your Browns. Still a very young secondary, Harrison Smith. That's the only player back there. He's really old. So they're either really young or really old.
Byron Murphy's over there too.
Oh, they did sign Byron Murphy, but I mean, that's a solid pickup, but that's not a game-changing signing.
Not unexpected, yeah.
So I think their defense is going to be what kind of drags them down, where their offense is just going to continue to be really, really good with Justin Jefferson being that focal point. But, yeah, I have them at 9 wins as well, but I got them at third in the division. But you could flip-flop them in the Packers.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I got the Vikings at 2, probably 9-8, maybe 10-win season. I think 10's kind of pushing it, but you mentioned it. Release Cooks, no Eric Kendricks there anymore. Adam Thielen gone. Those were 3 cornerstones of the Vikings franchise.
Veteran presence. Yeah.
Last 5 to 10 years, whatever it was. Those guys were big keys in that offense. You mentioned Alexander Madison. I really like as a running back. He works great. I mean, there was really, not a crazy drop off. I mean, Dalvin Cook's still better than Madison, but he picked up the slack when Dalvin Cook would always go down. He was a good 2-punch.
Yeah. Steps
in that one role. You mentioned Harrison Smith, aging, obviously.
Still a good safety.
No, I mean, he's still good safety. I'm not saying but he's not that top 3 safety he once was.
He was top 3 before
in the league. Yeah, he probably was a top 3 safety a few years. I mean,
I'm not gonna go back and
so
I don't know if he was
I'm gonna
3,
say,
but he was a
top
good
5.
Safety.
Come on, he was
Maybe.
there.
We're not gonna do a career.
And then Byron Murphy.
Career check on
Byron Murphy, man. I think that's a solid pickup.
Yeah,
you mentioned Jay Jets. Kirk Cousins, they won that game on that Saturday. You mentioned those one-score games, down 27-0 to the Colts. I think that was the Colts.
That wouldn't happen this year.
The Colts folding,
although I think they play the Colts again, actually.
Regardless, I mean, I'm taking the Vikings too.
They don't.
Just nothing flashy. Kirk, I think they play 6 or 7 primetime games.
They do have a few primetime games.
That's the one schedule I looked at just to see how many primetime games.
Yeah, I was going through the schedule. I'm like, they might be able to win this game. It's I look at the time. It's I don't think so.
I'm worried about that 4 o'clock window too. Even
that's a flip a coin, Kirk. Yeah.
Vikings.
So I got
Jordan Addison too as well.
Yeah, they did bring over Jordan Addison. Yeah,
that's a good pickup. But I got him at the 2 slot, so that obviously leaves us with number 1. I'll let you go first.
Well, I mean, I'll touch on the Packers real quick.
Okay.
Quick. Yeah, because I got them at number 2. But I mean, everything you said, just building off of that, I think kind of like the Bears, it's all down on Jordan Love. If Love can build off of those flashes he's shown, that game against the Eagles when he came in late, when Rodgers went out, he looked really good. I think he had led a touchdown drive. Him and Christian Watson seemed to have a nice connection. They got young weapons on the outside. Like you mentioned, Musgrave, Watson showed a lot of potential down the second half of that season. They also got Dobbs. So they have some weapons, like you mentioned, that 2 running back punch they got. And then Rashawn Gary also comes back. He's going to be a really, really big improvement. I think he was like leading the league in sacks, or like one of the top leaders in sacks when he went down last year. I know he was really
Forgot all about it.
Yeah, he was playing really good for the Pack last year before that injury. Jair Alexander, he's a lockdown corner on the outside. So I think this Packer team is gonna look a lot different from, that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams combo we was used to, of just them airing the ball out and throwing all over teams. I think this year their defense will be kind of, why they win games in that running game, and Jordan Love just being more of a game manager this season. So I have them at 9-8 as well. I think them and the Vikings are kind of in the same boat. That could go either way.
Yeah, but in the case, I mean, the Packers almost have kind of a higher ceiling, lower expectations, young quarterback.
I think they do have a higher ceiling just because we don't really know what Jordan Love is.
Yeah,
if he's gonna be Mahomes like he was compared to coming out of the draft, then
sign him up, man.
Give him 12, 13 wins. But if he's on the lower end, like a Dak Prescott or Jimmy G or even a Kirk Cousins, then 8, 9 wins is what I see them getting. So there's a lot of room for the Packers. Yeah. They can move around. Whereas I think the Vikings, 10 is their ceiling and 8 is definitely where they're more of the safer option.
Yeah, I can see the Pack flipping the 2 as well, like you said. Yeah. I mean, it's really
either way
interchangeable there. Yeah. Number 1,
two
obviously
solid teams, but I think being in the NFC also helps them.
Oh yeah. Very much so. Lions, number 1, I don't know the last time they won the North was, but it had to be a decade, 2, who knows, maybe even longer.
It's been Stafford and Johnson had to do it one of those years.
I think they were just wild card, bro.
They never won it? Damn.
I think they just went to a wild card.
Fam, if they never did it, then that's before my time, bro. I don't know who did.
Exactly, bro. I don't think they did, man. So I got the Lions, man. They were number 5, I think, total offense last year. Really great offense. Defense struggled, but they do have, Aiden Hutchinson back for another year 2. Showed some flashes. Got a couple picks last year on the DN. Mm-hmm. Probably want to see him, just get more sacks than picks at this point. Lawson, DeAndre Swift, the guy they didn't even use last year.
But they brought in Jahmyr Gibbs as his replacement.
Let's just follow it up with Jahmyr Gibbs. And I mean, you still got, touchdown, Mr. Touchdown Goblin, fucking Jamal Williams.
No, he's on the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
But they brought in, what's his name from Chicago?
Oh, David Montgomery. David Montgomery. Yeah. They signed David Montgomery, re-signed Marvin Jones.
On a side note, did you see that video that went viral of David Montgomery yesterday or whatever? I guess he was working out, the resistant bands or whatever. He was working out. And I guess at the end, he stopped and he just flew back 20 yards from the resistance bands. And I saw a clip. Everyone was his fantasy stock's going down. They're Jahmyr Gibbs is the number 1. Just based off of that one clip, it was really funny.
But did he stop the workout?
Yeah, the workout was done.
So that means the resistance band's just that strong, bro.
Yeah, that's the joke.
His stock should be going up. Yeah.
People are overreacting, but it was just funny, the way it looked, because he fell and was flying back. He flew back 15 yards. It was funny.
The resistance band's no joke, man. Was someone holding it too, or was it
I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen the hold, but
either way,
yeah.
You get Montgomery there. So touchdown boy's gone. My bad. I mean, a real good wide receiver crew in my opinion. Obviously,
that's suspension though for what's his name?
Yeah,
Jameson. Yeah.
Yeah, Jameson Williams, who didn't even really play last year.
Gambling.
One of the best wide receivers coming out the draft. He just tore, his ACL in the championship game.
Yeah, against Alabama.
Yeah, so I mean,
he'll be fine.
yeah, he's out for
That
gambling.
wasn't like his first career reception, a touchdown last year.
It was just
too.
a go route.
Yeah.
The unreal speed. I mean, comparable to Bama products like Waddle. They always went through it. Big loss. You retain Marvin Jones. You still got why am I drawing a blank on one of my favorite receivers right now?
On the Lions?
Yeah. St. Brown.
Amon-Ra.
Yeah, Amon-Ra. Really, really, great receiver, great route runner, not flashy, gets the job done. He's going to cook defenses. And Jared Goff, he's had ups and downs in his career, times where, he was a real quarterback when he's having shootouts with Patrick Mahomes on national
that game
television.
was crazy, bro.
Probably the craziest game we've seen in our lifetime. That's kind of the Jared Goff we saw last year. So expect Jared Goff to get on that same track, kind of maybe not the same track. You just ball out, not do too much, don't turn the ball over, get your offense going, because the defense is the real question mark. And that was Detroit's problem last year, so let's see if they can tighten it up.
Yeah, I also have the Lions winning the division. I have them at 10 wins, so only one
10?
win over. Yeah, 10-7. I think they're one of the most overhyped teams coming into this year. Well, let me not say overhyped. Let me say they're just one of the most hyped teams this season. They had a solid draft. They're looking to improve off a good year last season because they were ahead of schedule last year. Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned, I mean, Jared Goff, he's a fine quarterback in that system. You know he's going to give you steady, solid play. And like you mentioned, they got some nice weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Brought in a young running back who should be explosive. And whenever Jared Goff has a good, solid running back, his numbers are good. When he had Todd Gurley in L.A., he was a good quarterback. Then he had Swift and Jamal in Detroit. Solid running game. His numbers look great last year. So I think Jared Goff won't be an issue. Like you mentioned, that defense is young. Build around Aiden Hutchinson. They got some nice young players. I don't think the Lions are going to take like some crazy jump and be like one of the best teams in the league. I think they'll improve off of last year, win the division. Being in a weaker division, in a weaker NFC will definitely help them. So I got them at 10 wins, and I think they'll end up winning the NFC North. I think they'll be a good, solid playoff team.
Yeah. That was a good take. So we got Lions 1. We flip-flop Vikings and Packers, but interchangeable 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Bears, 4th in that division. We'll see what Justin Fields got locked in and in store for us this year.